Amen.
Yeah, man. I feel like we've given our relationship the proper amount of attention. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like I said, man, you're trusting your energy with people. People are so just like willy-nilly about moving in together, getting together, starting relationships, ending relationships, starting another one. Like they're just so nonchalant about that kind of stuff. And it's just like, you can't be like that. You know what I mean? Like that's why you get into these situations that you get into, because you're not protecting your energy at all costs. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And what I was saying was like, people are always asking like, oh, like, what do you guys do? Like certain, it's like, the answer, you're asking me, but you really know the answer. What you got to do is make sure you're solid 100%, but you being solid 100% means changes. You being solid 100% means being vulnerable. You being solid 100% means you got to start. Yeah, exactly. And people don't want to do that. And it's like, I could tell, I could give you stories and I can tell you all this crap all day long. But at the end of the day, until you're ready to look at yourself and go inside out with that, you're not going to get nowhere. You know what I mean? And I feel like again, man, like a big thing about the episode and just like a big theme with a lot of the stuff we talking about is that energy thing. You know what I mean? A lot of people look at it like, oh, that's you're looking at it like from a weird like perspective or something,
like why
supernatural
do you care about that
or something like that. You know what I mean? They look at it like it's they look at it like it's something that they could dismiss when it's not something that you can dismiss. And yeah, man, it's just it goes back to like something we were talking about during the week also. Like there's lessons that we learn and there's lessons that we hear. And what I was saying by that is like, you could see the examples around you. You could take in the situations. You could see the cause and effect of the people that are in your life and everything. And there's a difference between seeing it and applying it. You know what I mean? Because they say a wise man learns from others' mistakes. And it's like, we all see everybody else's mistakes. It's knowing what side of the situation you're on and what you need to do. Because sometimes you're not the hero. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you're the villain. And and that's what I liked a lot about the story you told about your boy earlier, Joe, because what you did was set up the type of person he is and the type of person you were at the time. And you weren't trying to sugarcoat it. You weren't trying to make yourself look cool. You weren't trying to tell the story in a way that looked flattering to you. You know what I mean? You just told it how it was and acknowledged, like you said, that you learned the lesson eventually.
For sure.
And
exactly what type of person he was.
And that's all
and
it
I respect
takes.
him for it. Yeah.
And that's all it takes for people to, keep it real with themselves, but they make it so complicated. You know what I mean? Like, it's like it goes back to the thing I was saying earlier about not having to keep your story straight. You know what I'm saying? If you ask me something, I can tell you right away, because whatever I'm telling you is what I've been telling everybody, because that's what it is. You know what I mean?
No. Nah, it comes down to, who, and almost I could attribute it to ego a little bit. It's like who you trying to continue to prove yourself to be. And like we get into little Dark Knight things, and I'll take it's a Dark Knight quote, but Jay-Z just rapped it better. Die and be a hero, or live long enough to see yourself become a villain. You know what I'm saying? Like, how long are you willing to stick to what you think everybody wants you to be? But at the end of the day, people are going to think of what they think of you.
And going into the Dark Knight thing, perfect segue, bro. There's a scene in the Dark Knight that really, really plays into this energy thing and the way people are, like, because I'm pretty sure y'all both have seen it. I know y'all both have seen it, but in the Dark Knight, we
both have the Blu-ray DVD. I checked your whole DVD collection when I was at your house, and you have every single one. I got all the Turtles. I got all the Harry Potters. I got all the Dark Knights. I got The Office. Everything
I
I
was
got.
so mad when they closed Movie Stop, man.
Yeah, Movie Stop was fun.
But you definitely have a fire DVD collection. I'll give you
Yo,
that.
it's so
Quincy, when I
crazy
see
that you
yours
say
up
that
there.
because I just bought and received a couple days ago a DVD player from Amazon, like a compact one that I could just put behind my TV because we don't have one in the room. And my wife has been wanting to watch. Like, she's like, man, we got so many dope DVDs and we don't watch them.
Facts.
But oh yeah, but in that scene, and rest in peace to this man also, Tiny Lister, right? That's his name.
Yeah.
The dude that played the prisoner in that scene.
Debo?
Dude was in the Debo. He was in WWE back in the day. Obviously, y'all know him from Friday as
Tommy
Debo.
Lister, yeah.
Yep.
But Tiny Lister was his nickname. You're right.
Yeah.
My bad. I just wanted to verify.
Yeah. But yeah, there was a scene where they were in the boat. If y'all not familiar in the scene, the Joker kind of puts
Two
people
boats.
against each other in a way that, like, he wants people that are perceived as good to make a bad choice. That's the kind of situations he puts people in, just to kind of show them.
And
that,
you said
hey,
that good without spoiling. I was about to spoil it. I was about to say, Joker said.
yeah, he just likes to show people that you know, they're gonna get ugly when being in those situations. You know what I mean? Like, he's real big on that kind of theme. You know,
Either be selfish or selfless.
Exactly. And so in the scene, there's two boats in the ocean. Both of the boats have a detonator to explode the other boat. And if either one doesn't explode the other boat by a certain time, both of them are blowing up.
Mm-hmm.
So there's prisoners on one boat, and there's just people from the town on another boat. So
And what that's showing, that's representing a certain type of people that are conceived to automatically
exactly.
be the ones who make that decision.
Exactly. So you got those two situations, and both people know. The Joker has let them know. This side are the good people, the good townsfolk, and this side are the prisoners of the worst prison in New York or Gotham City. So they're both there contemplating, obviously, people having conversations on either side. Hey, press the button, don't press the button. When it starts getting to towards the very end, the biggest, baddest prisoner of them all, the one that's the most locked up, he gets up, goes to the person that has the detonator and says, give me that detonator. I'm going to do something that you should have been done. I'm not saying it word for word, but that's basically the gist of it. Give me that detonator because I'm going to do what you wasn't man enough to do.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, everybody's assuming he's about to blow up the other boat. Nah. He grabs that detonator, throws it out the window, and sits back down. Everybody kind of looks at each other like, dang, like, you know, they thought he was going to make the bad decision for them, but instead he made the right decision. That was the hardest decision. And they had to live with the ethical decision.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to, you know, live with that decision either way because they're playing the background.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And the dope thing about that scene in that movie is, you know, you kind of see the regular townsfolk. You see the ugly side of them, where, you know, some of them are saying, "Hey, just blow them up. They're prisoners. Who cares? It's just a whole bunch of prisoners. Just blow them up." And then you see that it takes the quote unquote worst guy there to make the most conscious decision.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of goes back to, like, imagine you're that person in that boat in the bottom. Like, would you have the courage to be the one to get up and say, hey, this is what we should be doing? And obviously this is a crazy extreme situation. And, you know, whatever any decision anybody makes in that situation, I'm not going to fault them because I've never been in that situation. So I can't tell you what I would have done.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I will never tell somebody what they should do in a situation I've never been in, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just a crazy thought that the people on either boat were cool with whatever decision was going to get made. It was going to get made, and they were just kind of cool playing the background on it. Now, you bring that into real life, you're not that background person waiting on that life or death decision in real life. So why are you still letting people lead you around and, you know, kind of make decisions for how you're going to be or what you're going to do when you have the
force
power
you to make
do it?
decisions? Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like, and that's something that always spoke out to me in that movie. And it's something that I see in people a lot just on my day to day. Like, you know, a lot of things are just you taking your life into your own hands. You know what I mean? Like it's something that's gotten lost on so many people. And it goes back to what we were talking about at the beginning, the internet, being, trying to be the first one with the news, trying to be the most viral, trying to be the most whatever. You kind of lose that thing inside you where it's just like, hey, we're all on that search for discovery in life. You know what I mean? And you got to be in tune with that journey in yourself. You know what I mean? You can't do it through the lens of somebody else, or, do it in the style that is not necessarily the way you would do it. That's how people get into the situations that they can't get out of, or situations that are bad for them, because it's like you're putting yourself in that environment when you know that your energy is greater than that.
Yeah. It's almost like kind of selling yourself out.
Exactly. And it goes back again to the sewer king thing. You go to the sewer, you're going to be amongst the rats, and the rats don't play fair.
And you got to play the game.
Exactly.
Which overcomes your morals, which overcomes you, like you said, standing on your principles. And is that when are you going to make that choice where it's like, nah, I'm going to just continue to just pick my principles and just continue saying no to playing the fucking game just because I put myself in it. Decision.
I think that leads perfectly into this next thing. So we had a conversation the other day about getting people's opinions when you're in the middle of a project, or let's say you're doing an artistic project, a music project, an architectural project, anything, anything that you're working on. Just the idea of, is it a good idea to get opinions during, after, like, just what do you guys think as far as that goes? Like, whenever you're working on something, any kind of project, it might even be a work project, what do you feel on as far as getting feedback on it, and how does that sway you, the feedback or no feedback?
I think it just depends on what it is. Like I was saying in the conversation yesterday, for me, with music, as far as, that I'm vocally creating, rapping or whatever, that kind of music, I think I've gotten a lot more selective with that, right? But I also think that, some people, for example, I'll just use a regular example. I have a coworker of mine, very intelligent, great leader, but she's not the best with her grammar. So before she sends big emails, she'll send them to me like, hey, this sound good? And that's just her asking someone's opinion on what does this sound like to you? So I think when it's something that you're not comfortable with, for example, like, me, like, what I sent yesterday was like a beat, that I was just kind of messing with. I don't make beats, what I'm saying? I haven't made beats in 12 years, so for me in that situation, because it's something I'm not so comfortable with, it's like, yo, what do you think? What is this? The snares sound straight, rhythm sounds good, you know what I mean? So in that situation, you're asking for feedback, so I think it just kind of depends. Like, I think it's kind of hard to give that one thing, because I feel like if it's something that I'm not super confident in, I'm going to ask for feedback. I'm going to want opinions on it, and I still probably will be selective on who it is. Like, obviously, I'm not about to ask somebody that has no creative outlet, you know what I'm saying, or no kind of understanding of the creative process.
How do you take that feedback in compared to going with your gut?
So for me, I think it's more so, I don't think the gut is really swayed. I think the opinion or the feedback is taken in, and it's more so, okay, so if one person says, so let's use the beat example. If one person says, man, that the tempo on that, man, if that was like a little bit faster, that would sound good. And another person or another three people say, hey, let's just say the tempo could be a little bit slower. I'm going to kind of lead into what I would like, but what does the audience, what is somebody that's actually just taking this in, what do they want to hear? So it's like, of course, I want to put out, what I want to create, but at the same time, the way I've developed as an artist has changed over time because of what worked and what didn't work.
So what about you, Joe? Like, when you're in those situations, how do you approach getting feedback? How do you take it in? Do you like to stick with your gut?
It's kind of cool. I didn't know I was gonna be able to. Like, I love how sometimes because y'all are artists and you're able to relate on that level. I'm like, damn, how can I answer to this? But then you put it in such a perfect way where I can, because it still relates to me in both aspects. So at work, I hate displaying or presenting an incomplete project because I know what's left to do. A majority what's left to do. And I'd rather clean that up. I'd rather you not tell me what I already know I need to do, but I presented you at this time without doing it. So I'd rather you tell me something I don't know. So I do not like having incomplete projects shown to other people because I still know what's incomplete. And I don't want you to tell me what it is because I already know what it is. Once I think it's complete, I like sending it out and then saying, okay, now what are you thinking? This is how I did this. What do you think? And that's one thing I told Quincy about. Is that shit sounded complete to me. That sounded like you didn't need nothing more to do. And so if you were to see someone say you need to do all this, I'm like, what if you don't need to do any of that? Like, how do you take that? So then I took it to my mixes. Remember, I've been making mixes and I hate them. I do not like them all. I do not like any of them. That's why I'm not sharing them. Because y'all would say this and this and that. And I'm like, I know, right? I know. I need to learn how to fix that before I show people. So that's how I would do it. And that's how I kind of understood lesson. But there's people, Quincy, who want to kick in that continuous input, who want to just hear it. It doesn't matter. They're going to still do what they're going to do. But they take that input and they see how people who do it and like, all right, when I want to do it this way. It's just the same, but listen to a reference track that you want to, inspire to make a verse out of. You know what I'm saying? You listen to people who've done it. And so I see that aspect too. But as for me myself, I prefer not to put anything complete out because I just don't want anybody telling me what I already know I need to fix about something. Because then we're going to spend 20 minutes talking about my problem that we both know we need to fix, and then we're just wasting some time on that kind of thing.
Dope. So what about like when it's something that not necessarily is incomplete, but it's something that maybe you're doing for the first time or something you're not that comfortable with? How do you take in that feedback?
I'm learning. That I take that as learning. One thing I know for the rest of my life is I'll never know everything. And I'm an expert learner. I continue to learn. I respect my leads. I respect my elders. I respect anybody who ever has been through something says to me. And I will continue to learn, continue to absorb, continuously take feedback. But if it's something that I know I'm going to just do on my own and make and direct this cut, it's me, and it ends when I say it's right. Because that's when I feel I'm at my best and I'm confident in that. Those kind of things, nobody else plays a part in.
Word. Yeah, man, it's dope because, there's so many different ways to do things. My main principle when it comes to like taking advice and feedback and stuff like that is I'm kind of like you, Joe, from the point of view of like, I don't like putting out incomplete things because like you said, I know what needs to be finished. You know what I mean? But something I look at whenever I'm creating or working on something, it's like, I don't mind feedback and suggestions and things as far as like big picture things. But when it comes to like the when it comes to the overall tones of something, I'm doing that my way. And then whatever fits in those gaps that you can help me with, if I see that it makes sense, I'll take it in. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I'm trying to give you me that you enjoy. I'm not trying to tailor it so that you enjoy it. I'm trying to hit you with it where it's already something that you enjoy. You know what I mean?
Are you talking to the person who's done it before and who has the experience in it, or someone who just trusts to tell you the truth about it?
So I kind of have like a very tailored list of like, all right, I know this person doesn't do music, but I respect their opinion. Like, well, I'm talking about specifically when I'm sending songs out. So I'll find somebody and I'll be like, all right, I know this person doesn't do music and has nothing to do with music, but just has a great ear So the kind of music they enjoy is the kind of music that I would enjoy. So their opinion matters. You know what I mean? That would be somebody like you, Joe. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that I know is knowledgeable in
I believe
music.
that.
Somebody that I know enjoys good music, and they enjoy the type of music that I would enjoy also. I'll value that opinion. I'll have somebody like Quincy, somebody that does it as well, that I enjoy, that it has same qualifications as Joe, but he makes music too. So he understands the details of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll have somebody like that.
I love that. And that's why me and Gary fuck with each other. And same thing. He just wants to let me hear things. Sorta. He said it on the show. Like, he's always loved to let me hear things. You love to let me hear things. And like, I appreciate that. I appreciate that people like to let me hear things. Even though I'm not an expert, I don't make music. I'm not an artist whatsoever. But like, when I tell you I'm feeling something, believe that. I won't say I'll like it, I'll heart it, but I won't say I'm feeling unless I'm feeling like. And if I say I'm really feeling it, like, wow, like I'm really feeling that. It's something I will play to everybody, that I will play in somewhere where I want to get the vibe started. Like, sometimes I gotta tell you, sometimes I'll be listening the track that's coming out in 5 days, and I was like, oh, like it makes me feel good. And I don't care who the artist is, how big they are, where they come from. If you make me feel like that, that's good music to me, and I can identify that anywhere.
Facts.
Yeah. I think, like, and again, our creative processes could be different as well, when it comes to certain things. I think, like I said, going back to kind of what I said, I think with things I'm comfortable with, I don't really seek too much, what I'm saying, approval or feedback or whatever. But, typically if I'm trying something new, I definitely want to gauge feedback to see, am I even going in the right direction with it,
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. What's it called? And that even kind of goes with just how, like, even like sometimes certain songs and stuff and sounds and vibes just don't resonate with certain people. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I'm real big on, like, I have a very small filter it goes through, but even like to get to those people, I already know it's something that I want to present. You know what I mean? Like, and that's where I kind of go with it might not be your vibe, but I know this is dope. You know what I mean? And then it kind of goes like where Quincy, with what Quincy was saying. When I wasn't as confident in it, I had a bigger pool of people that I would run it by. You know what I mean? And I would even sit with it for a while to know, like, dang, like, is this still dope a month later? You know what I mean? Like, I'm real big on that. Like, I like, like I've always said, I'm after that timeless music. So I like to make some stuff that, like, I want to make sure that it has replay value. It's something that I could keep listening to. You know what I mean? Like, those tracks are hard to come by. You know what I mean? And it's just working at it. And, I enjoy the chase of it. You know what I mean? And that's the dope thing about music, man. Like, and that's always why that's like such a big theme on the podcast, because I feel like music has that energy in it, and we're always talking about energy. Like, there's things in the music that can like, it's just still even crazy to me that, like, music is really just something that's in the air, and like, people have figured out how to monetize it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Like, it doesn't even make sense, bro. Like, it doesn't even make sense that we can capture these sounds and record them.
Touch on something like that I continuously learn about music, and it's a perfect time to just insert this little thing I watched. There is I forgot what magazine it was, but there is a magazine that has YouTube segments of the biggest fans of something, right? So it was like Billie Eilish was the biggest fan ever of The Office, so Dwight Schrute interviewed her and quizzed her on The Office trivia, and she got so much shit right. Yeah, it was crazy. And then they had Charlie Puth. Have you heard of him? He's an artist. Yeah. And he was the biggest Friends fan ever. And he had Monica Geller interview him. And as she's talking and saying things, he's like, "Oh my God, like, you said that in the F minor, like, that's so Monica Geller." And she's like, "What?" And he's like, what if I say it like this? And he was just calling out the keys of how she talks. He's like, I'm sorry. He's like, when people talk, I just see music notes. He's like, I just see notes flying every time people talk. So everything she's saying, he's relating it to keys. And he's like, no, you kind of said it at this key. He's like, and then he did the key for her. And then she did it. Like, that just showed me so much about music that I have no fucking idea about. And that just exists.
Yeah, music is crazy, man.
Music's dope, man.
And then like, you know, like the magical thing about music to me is like, for example, there's a documentary on Netflix, 2-part documentary on Flank, a 2-part documentary on Flank, see? A 2-part documentary on Frank Sinatra. And, you know, there's one part where he's just kind of talking about how he likes to record and his process and everything. He's like, you know, you're supposed to record in a booth and, you know, everybody records in a booth, but I like to bring a mic and sit down like in the pit with the orchestra. Like, he's like, that's how I feel it. And that's how I like to sing. You know what I mean? And he was working on a specific album at that time, like in that interview, you know what I mean? And then just like hearing the music and just being able to like take in the perspective of where he was, like, you know, where he was singing this at, you know, what music he was hearing, because you're hearing the music as well. And you're hearing like how he really just like put that performance on and just captured that song and just captured that moment in time. So like, it's like, that's the thing about music that I love so much. You know what I mean? It's just like I said, bro, it's crazy to me that you could even record it. It's crazy to me that, you know, I can hear Frank Sinatra sing. Like, that's crazy, bro.
I want to kind of talk to Quincy real quick. That Chance the Rapper doing All Falls Down, I got chills. It just,
me too,
felt so good seeing how much he loved that song. He did every single ad lib.
Exactly.
He did everything. Even when it starts, he's like, Southside.
Yeah.
Set this party up, right?
Yep.
Be able to do
you can tell that as much. I mean, I'm not referring back to the Kanye talk from earlier, but as much as the way we look at Kanye now, he was an influence on Chance the Rapper to the core.
Big time.
You know what I'm saying? You
and Chance the Rapper's at Atlanta. Oh no, is Chance the Rapper Chicago, Atlanta? Oh, he's out of Chicago too. I'm tripping.
No, and you could hear it. You could really hear it. It was dope. It was really dope to see. And like I was telling a friend of mine yesterday, you know, because you know, like obviously we mentioned earlier, I sent that beat that I made to y'all and like 2 other people. And I was talking to one of them about it because he had called me afterwards, and I was just like, you know, expressing to him that like, you know, it's been cool trying to tap into this because it's still allowing me to be creative musically, even when I can't find the words, you know. And I think that for me is why I enjoy it so much, like at least as of recent, you know. So I think, you know, music just overall, bro. Obviously, everybody has their ways to be creative, but to me, music is just so enjoyable, you know.
And that's why like my wife's not a big music person. Like she doesn't keep up with music. She's not hip to the music. She's not knowing everything, but she loves the music that she loves. You know what I mean? She has this certain type of music that she loves. And sometimes like when she plays me, it's like, damn, like I forgot about these tracks. Like you got some good shit. And so we love The Voice. Have you ever watched The Voice?
No, that's what's up. I've watched it. I don't stay.
And like there'll be some performances where I don't even fuck with, but she'll want to replay them like 10 times in a row. And just because she feels something that makes her want to just run a track back, even though I don't even care about the track, like I let that happen because that's a dope feeling. And that's what I feel with everything that I listen to. Every single thing that I listen to makes me feel something in some way.
And it's dope because like for some people it's movies, for some people it's fashion, you know what I'm saying? Like for some people it's art. Like there's so many things that make people just like, I feel like those are the things that just keep people going. And like somehow like it's been flipped in society where it's like you're a cornball if you enjoy being artistic. You're a cornball if you have outside interests outside of work.
If you gain the same feeling I gain on different stuff, like it's about the feeling.
The only acceptable things to do is you know, make money, play video games.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I mean? There's like a short list of things that if you do it, people will be like, all right. But if you do like these other things, artistic things, music, you know, just different avenues of things that just make you feel good, people kind of look at you a certain way. And that's something that I really honestly feel like needs to be shied away from like crazy, because that's like the culture now. Like, everybody's so overstimulated that they just don't have like that one thing, or just certain things that like they can kind of just zone in and zone out. You know what I mean? Because like it just makes you feel a certain way, and you can really just, you know, expand on that and just feel that happiness and just explore that, you know. And people just don't want to do it, and people just like are not in tune with that kind of vibe, and it's sad to see, you know what I mean? It's like all the artistic things they're taking out of the schools, you know, like those kind of classes and everything. You're seeing a lot of instruments being taken away, you know what I'm saying? It's like a thing that's disappearing.
They don't fund the band program.
Facts.
Yeah, I feel like the starving artist concept has been like almost manipulated, you know, where it's like, you know, you can be an artist and not and not be starving. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because I'm not famous or whatever, it doesn't mean I'm out here starving. And I feel like, you know, people kind of manipulate that phrase, or that, you know, to make it sound like your artist is negative.
Yeah, no, there's artists who, and that's how I'll always look at Fab. Like, he's not a stadium, an arena guy. He's not a big guy, but he does 1,000 shows a fucking year, and he sells them out. And he gets what he does. He gets that personal moment. He still drops what he does. He still does what he does. Like, your artist lane is your artist lane. If you're consistent with it, a lot of people respect that. No matter what, they will continue to respect that.
I feel like that's also something that's kind of disappearing though too. Like, people don't respect time no more. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of like with the art thing, you know, like, it takes a lot of time and hard work to like build a skill to that point, you know, guitar player, violin player, piano player, singer, actor, like painter, anybody, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what people pay for with these paintings. You know what I mean? Like, people are like, yo, why are these paintings worth this much money? It's because you don't know that this guy has been painting this painting for 7 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't, like, people don't consider that kind of stuff, and they think, oh man, why are they painting? Oh, it's like, I understand there's certain things that you see that people are slapping together and putting a crazy price tag on it, and you're like, wow, well, you know. But the artists that I consider real artists, they're doing pieces that they could give it to you and say, here, look, this is the one that I did. Do the same thing, and you can't do it because they put so much time and effort and just they put so much mind to it that's why these things are worth what they're worth. That's why people respect certain artists more than others. You know what I'm saying? That's why Prince was so highly respected, because he played every instrument. He sung, you know, he wrote music. He sung. He wrote music both ways. Like, he actually wrote the music and the lyrics. You know what I mean? Like, that's why he was so prolific in this music thing, and people that know respected him, because it's like, yo, this guy has given so much time and energy and effort. Like, they didn't care that he would like to party and he did whatever. Like, because they knew what he did and what he does, there's no faking it. You know what I mean?
No one else can do it.
And that's something, even my bad, real quick, because I listened to the Mike Tyson and Tony Hawk interview. He just had him on Hot Boxing. Oh, damn, and, I gotta see that. And something that Jerry Seinfeld has said in the past, Tony Hawk kind of said the same thing too. Like, Jerry Seinfeld said in an episode of Comedians in Cars, he was like, every time I see them skateboarding kids, I know they're going to be all right. Because, like, he just knows that skateboarding is hard. You know what I mean? Like, and he's like, when you see a kid on a skateboard and you see him out there working at it and stuff, like, you know that kid's going to be all right. Because the type of kid that'll pick up skateboarding and give it that kind of like attention, and, you know, skateboarding is a lot of hurt. You know what I'm saying? And that was kind of what Tony Hawk was saying. Like, he's like, the one of the things that he loves about skating is he's like, he was an awkward kid. He was never really cool, you know, but skateboarding, you can't fake it. When you go to these meets, when you go to these events, you're either skating and killing it, or you're not. There's no
you're not,
pretending. There's no smoke and mirrors. There's no auto tune on a skateboard. You know what I'm saying? There's no easy button on a skateboard. There's no automatic on a skateboard. On a skateboard,
know it
like,
or you don't.
Exactly. You're gonna make it happen or you're not. You know what I'm saying? And that was something super dope in that interview when I heard it. It's like, dang, like, you know, there's just certain things that, like, when you do it and when you show that, you know, wealth of knowledge and that hunger that you have and that, you know, resolve to keep going and always keep going and gnawing at it and trying to get it to do what you want it to do, it gets to a point where you put so much time and energy into it, people got no choice but to respect it.
Big time. I was just gonna mention that if y'all watched that story about Kanye talking about making stronger.
Oh yeah, I seen that. You sent it in the Instagram chat, right? About how he was saying that he was trying to get them drums like Timberland, and even after he hurt, that was dope.
And then what he did to get those drums.
Like he had to literally go. He tried to get the drums that Timberland had on Sexy Back. He wanted to get that vibe on Stronger. So he mimicked that style. He drops the record. He hears it in the club and says, "This is not hitting like Sexy Back."
Well, I want to touch real quick. He said it sounded muddy.
Yeah, exactly.
That was
the technical thing about it. He was like,
but do y'all have tracks where you feel like it sounds like that? Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
So sounding muddy is like the thing that everybody's trying to find the not muddy in a mix. Anything they're doing, the beat, the vocals, the overall, everything. Muddy, basically, it's just a frequency in the song that when you bang it at a certain volume, it's not hitting people's ears the way that you want it to hit them. Like
it's not clear, maybe
the song. Yeah, it's not necessarily that it's not clear. It's just the wrong frequencies are being emphasized or taken away.
Yeah.
When you hear 808 bumping, you know what I mean? You like to hear it. It gets you going. It gets you pumping. But you like to hear it at a certain you want to hear it at a certain volume, and you want to hear it you want it to vibrate on your eardrums a certain way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it's muddy, it's not doing that, and it's gonna prevent people to really rock with us. Like the song can be as dope as you want it to be. If people can't turn it up and enjoy it, it's not gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's dead.
You know what I think about now? Because
my bad. To finish the story.
Okay.
So Kanye says he goes to Pharrell, tries to get him to help him do the drums. He doesn't get the sound. He goes to another producer, try to get him Swizz Beatz. He went to Swizz Beatz. He couldn't get it either. He went to other people. Finally, he said, "I'm just gonna hit up Timberland." He goes to Timberland. Timberland does it in 5 minutes and spent the other hours in the session, he said, just running around saying, "I'm the one that did it." Why? Because I'm Timberland. I'm the only one that could do this. But why did he go to Timberland? Because Timberland spent 20 years in a freaking basement in Virginia, perfecting that sound. And you went to Timberland because he can do that in 5 minutes because he spent 20 years figuring that out.
Because there ain't nobody else who could do that shit that don't spend the same time as he did doing that shit. So there's something like if you spend your whole life doing it, it has value in it. It has more value than someone who just started doing it for sure.
Facts.
More respect too. No, and now I think about it, like boom, 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 boom. That's 99 Problems. No, Dirt Off Your Shoulders.
Yeah,
you can blast Dirt Off Your Shoulders, even in the club, and it sound like, to me, sounds clear means like I guess I don't hear muddiness. I don't know. That's what I might think.
Yeah, because you got to think too, like by the time a track gets to you as the consumer, it's always all that's gonna be resolved. You know what I'm saying? Like they're always gonna hit the right way. But when you hear like lower budget artists, which a lot of people don't listen to lower budget artists, and that's part of the reason, is because when you hear a lower budget artist and they don't have that right person, that I'm not even gonna say lower budget artist, just an artist that doesn't have the access to the person that can make it sound like it's supposed to, you're not going to ever like that song as much as a major artist song, because they're going to have that attention to detail to it. And it's just naturally going to hit your ears better, and you're going to enjoy it more, regardless if it's a better song than the other one or not. You know what I'm saying? If it's hitting you the right way, it's hitting you the right way.
Yeah. And do you guys feel that?
Feel what? Say it again.
Does it have to feel you? I mean, does it have to feel you? You have to feel it.
Yeah, nah. I mean, for me, like,
in the way you want to hear it, like going, no matter how amazing the person you're working with that tells you it sounds, like going through a Pharrell, going through a Swiss Beats, to ending up to the sound you want, finally hearing it, that's what it's going to take. And nobody before that sound is going to influence you to not get there, kind of thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I know, like me as an artist, I always like, you're always gonna have that real critical ear. You know what I mean? And especially like at the level I'm at, I'm working with great people, but I'm not working with like the masters. You know what I mean? And everybody knows that when you work with a master in anything, it's gonna be better. You know what I mean? And it's just like that chase. You know what I mean? It's like you're trying to get to that point where you're working with the masters because you're a master. You know what I mean? And you're making sure that all those things are hitting the right way, because there's songs even that I like that I can't bump. You know what I mean? Because they just don't hit the right way from artists that I like. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm in the car and everything is, you know, the 808s are hitting the way they're supposed to, and my bass is thumping the way it's supposed to. And if I hit next and it's a song that I like, but it's not going to bump the way the other songs have been bumping, I'm not going to listen to it right then and there, because, you know, it just doesn't fit the vibe, you know?
yeah, man. Yeah, like for me, I think it's more so you look for a certain thing, especially as an artist, you know what I mean? You look for, like Lester said, you know, there's songs that I like that I know for a fact that, like, dang, man, why did Lil Wayne record that on the bus and not in the real studio? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like you look for that, but it doesn't mean you don't enjoy it. It's just, you know, when you're creating, you know, you definitely want the best quality of your work that you possibly can get. You know, for me, speaking for me personally, you know, like when I'm recording myself, you know, I don't really like how I mix, you know, so I know that putting it out just like that is not the best quality of work, you know what I'm saying? So like I'll either go get it mixed somewhere or whatever, you know, but you know, listening to it, there's nothing you can really do about it. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. You just know how to enjoy it.
Yeah, sometimes as an artist, you definitely got to hear something like how it's gonna be. You know what I mean? Because like a lot of times we don't have that luxury of just having somebody right then and there whenever we're ready to create to just make it sound good. You know what I mean?
And that's just to finalize my question, because I think I asked a little wrong, but you guys both led to it. Would you ever put out a track because everybody else accepted it, but you didn't?
No.
Nah, but I don't think it would be like, it's like I said, like if I know that that's wrong in there, everybody's going to hear it too. You know what I mean?
So they're not going to feel comfortable wanting to do that because they're going to know how you feel.
Perfect example, the song me and Quincy did. After it was mixed and everything, I sent it to Lou to get mastered. There was a frequency in the intro that was just, whenever you turned it up, it bothered your ears. And we had to go back, find where that sound was coming from to eliminate it, and then get it mastered again.
Yeah, and we could all say, nah, it's fine, but it wasn't.
Exactly, because and then when people would have heard it right then and there, little weird frequency in the intro, I'm good on this.
Right.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want this. You know, when I turn this up, I don't want to be hearing this.
And
that's
what kind of delayed it, right?
Facts. It was supposed to be out around like Halloween time, like before Halloween, matter of fact.
But same thing. That's what I mean. Like, I don't want to put anything complete out, because you're just going to tell me
Facts.
What was wrong with it. And I already knew what was wrong with it, and I didn't fix it before I sent it out. So I'm like, I wish you never even heard that shit. And that's just kind of rolls down. And that's my work in life. I say I create an Excel spreadsheet. I don't want nobody to see it until I'm done. And if I think I'm done, then I'll take all the feedback in the world y'all want to give me, because I thought I was done. And if I wasn't, and your feedback is improving what I'm doing, 100%. Shoot, I'll take everything. Thank you. I will be grateful for it because I was so confident in what I had. And if you improve my shit by teaching me something, thank you. I take it. And that's why I take it to that. That's why that's my benchmark for me. That's my when I throw it over the wall kind of shit.
I feel that. Yo, so to kind of wrap this up, we can't let it slide without talking about this new Call of Duty, dog. What do y'all think? How has the gameplay felt?
Chat feature sucks.
The chat is It's still they still haven't sent out that first major update, which I'm kind of surprised, but I'm not because I know they always take forever. But at the same time, it's like, dang, even at this day and age, y'all still, you know what I'm saying? Y'all still haven't figured out how to make these updates faster. Like, you know what I mean? That shotgun is killing you from across the map. Like, why? What is going on?
I'm tell you right now. Software bugs are bugs until someone finds it, and then when they find it, retracing, like we talked about earlier, root cause analysis, where that shit starts from. Where you can't fix it where people are experiencing it. You gotta fix it where it starts from. And being in the software development background, I can 100% know how it gets. You can't account for everything the game's supposed to do. Thank you, sir. But you can't account for everything the game does not end up doing. You know what I mean? And so it sounds crazy. It's a big company. It's a lot of funding. It's a huge game. It's a lot of money involved. But still, sometimes in my industry, we get involved in the same amount of money, literally in the same category of money for the same product level. And yeah, man, it just sucks. It just sucks. So that's why I never get mad at bugs. I do get mad at how long it takes to fix them, but same thing. Like it could take forever. But yeah,
it drops. The new Warzone drops the day the song drops on the 14th.
Well, that's dope. Yeah, I'm ready. To check
Warzone 2.0, right?
Yeah, we gotta have the last hurrah, man, because Warzone about to be dead. You heard?
No, they're not. I thought they weren't closing the first one.
I don't think they are. But I'm just saying.
Ain't nobody playing that shit no more.
Transitioning, bro.
Yo, facts.
We going to the next one, man.
We got to level up.
Facts.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. We this season 5 has probably been the best season for us because we've been going ham, like getting mad dubs. We were having nights. We getting 3-4 dubs a night.
My last 40 was with y'all was at least 30 of them for sure.
Yeah, man. We've been in that zone with that Call of Duty, man. That game is so dope, man. I don't even know. Like, I was talking to my brother about it the other day because it's like he's a big into gaming. He has a gaming channel. We got to get him on here, man. He's super dope.
Let's do it.
But my bro, it's called Everything to Everyone. That's his gaming channel on Twitch.
I follow that shit right now.
Yeah, but we be talking about games and stuff, and I'm just like, man, I don't know, bro. I just don't like games. I just like Call of Duty. Like, I be playing other games and stuff. Like, the only games I can really play are like throwback games, like when they remaster them. You know what I mean? Like, but like actually getting into a new game, I don't like. It just doesn't motivate me. Like, I could tell it's dope, but like I can only play.
I'm
for, like,
the same
30
way,
minutes.
my dude. I'm the same way. I don't love it, but I really enjoy it. But I don't love it. Like today, I got off work early and I could have played, and I thought about playing. I was like, I really just don't want to like go through that process today.
It's almost like comparing. It's almost like comparing old cartoons to new cartoons. It's just not the same.
Exactly. The old man status.
Facts.
But yeah, man, I'm excited about the new Warzone, man. Like, that game is dope. I like the gameplay and I like the guns and everything. The new things that they added to it is dope. You know, they're gonna have like multiple zones now in the final zones. It'll be like
the
3 zones.
That's crazy.
Like, yeah, like the Warzone, they're gonna have more zones in there. I already experienced it. You can hear people like next to you, like that are on the other team. Like, if y'all are close to each other, y'all could talk on the thing.
So, real quick, I want to touch on that. So the DMZ is actually like the real DMZ in Korea, in North Korea, South Korea. The DMZ is the zone between North Korea and South Korea
Okay.
which is an area where they can't fuck with each other. So if people who are going through there, they should feel safe, but it's not safe at all. So there was a video, and I know Lester don't want to hear about these videos, but there was a video of a North Korea military member trying to escape through the DMZ, trying to go down to South Korea. Because South Korea, that's where I spend. That's where it's a lot different. Yeah, it's a dictatorship. So that's really replicated in the game. And did you know that Rebirth Island is literally Alcatraz and Alcatraz Island?
Oh, that's
and the
crazy.
jail
That's
cells.
crazy.
And the jail cells. And if you go,
I saw a video on that.
I
TikTok.
did. So my niece super into fucking.
Oh yeah. They showed like a tour of Alcatraz, and it was like the same spots and everything. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Remember the roof where we land on each side, and how one side has the stairs and the other side has the other thing. Like it's literally the two rooms where they're facing each other, and then the other one has a stair. Like exactly like it. And on the side where the loot box is, where it's just like a bunch of little tents. It's exactly Alcatraz Island. Even the mountains on the side, the ships.
That's crazy.
Exactly. And so that's why I'm looking forward to see the DMZ, because that gives you, for people who are never going to be able to go out there, to see what it's really like to live through that shit.
Yeah, that's wild.
And experience that. So that shout out to them for actually putting like real world shit in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow, yeah, that is crazy.
Even the underground jail cells, like it looks exactly where you go to get a motherfucking plate or some cash or SMG.
Yeah, man. So are we getting on or?
I gotta get, I gotta get in this Hello Fresh.
Yeah, I definitely gotta eat.
Yeah, I'm about to grub too, and then I'm ready after, man. I'm ready to leave my mark on the terraces, the best spot to land. Shout out to the terraces. Has been treating us good this whole time. You hear me?
I have Veterans Day off. Shout out to all the veterans coming up or passing if this episode comes out after. Thank you all y'all for y'all service.
Yes, sir.
I think Veteran Day is important. My father's a veteran. A bunch of my close friends are veterans. So shout out to everybody who served for this country. It's important. They're acknowledged. They did something a lot of us haven't. So shout out to them.
Shout out to the veterans, man. Every time I think about the Army, I think about Guile from Street Fighter. He's a cool looking guy. Every time I seen him in the game, I was like, damn, that guy looks cool. And then Jean-Claude Van Damme played him. I'm like, damn, Jean-Claude Van Damme is Guile. That's dope. But anyway, yes, sir. Appreciate everybody that's been tapping in. I know it's been a while since we did an episode, but this is the Grounded Show, and this is real life. So real life happens. Yeah. So you guys could just go back in the archives when we're gone for a long time. So thank you guys for listening and being friends of the show. I want to start getting submissions from people for topics and things of such. I would like to read stories
or
people or call-ins. I really like crazy stories. Like, please, man, if you guys got some crazy stories that got some kind of like cool little lesson in them, please give them to us, because I would love to read it with plenty of energy and act out everything and just give it the reverence that it deserves, because these are the stories of your lives.
Facts.
Stay grounded.